Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. How y'all doing? Uh, how do y'all like this angle? Um, I kind of don't like it, even though you can probably be able to see the cards and everything. Um, one second, one second. Okay, everybody, how's this? It's around 8:15 a.m. I'm gonna try to do a tarot card video early this morning because at 10 o'clock I have to take Tracy to work at Michael's. Um, so why not get this show on the road and get this tarot card reading done while I have this allotted time right now. I got my water, the 64 ounces. I got a candle going. I got pretty much the same setup, I guess, as last week's tarot card reading. Except this week we're going to do the card tarot. I got my coffee. I got my sketchbook. I'm ready to go. How y'all doing? Welcome to this week's tarot card reading. I apologize if it's a little scattered. I'm feeling just a little bit rushed, but I'm going to try to go ahead and get this video done in the morning. I've been not having very good luck with my yoga videos in the mornings, so I said, you know what? If I don't do this tarot card reading now, it'll be that much more difficult for me to do it in the afternoon. Anyway, enough complaining, I guess, right? I hate to complain about all that. But I guess all this complaints and anxiety about scheduling these tarot card readings, I think it's just, I really like the profession of being a tarot card reader. And I hope to further those endeavors at some point in time. Unfortunately, now it's not that time. But anyway, I look forward to a tarot card reading, entrepreneurship. But until then, this is what we got. So good morning, happy Sunday. What y'all got going on? How was y'all's weekend? I saw the rally in California, had a lot of people there, a lot of people in attendance. I thought that was cool. I had no idea Coachella was like an actual city, Coachella, California. I just thought it was a music festival. So that's interesting. So, anyway. And what else? What else is going on? It's very quiet outside this morning, so obviously it's a great time to do the tarot card reading, so I shouldn't be worrying about all of that, even though I do have to keep an eye on the time. Anyway, as far as the tarot card setup goes, I'm not sure what we should do today. I'm thinking maybe the crow. What do y'all think? Maybe we can do a 1, 2, 3 and then a crow. The 1, 2, 3 being the past, present, and future. Anyway. Speaking of which, Coachella being a very urban kind of area, what is y'all's thoughts about uh, taking down buildings that were in front of the Alamo um, uh, and replacing it with the Alamo in San Antonio, Texas, and replacing it with a big building that's dedicated to the Alamo. There may even be a movie theater, even though if you go down the street, there's a movie theater already. So as people who would most likely be tourists, and even if you didn't go to the Coachella rally in California, if you're not from San Antonio, how do you feel about taking down businesses that were in front of the Alamo and replacing it with basically just like a tourist um, destination information for the Alamo? I mean, to put a good spin on it, it would probably, I don't know if y'all have been to Las Vegas, um, but to put a good spin on it, it would probably be something like when you go into a casino and there was like, I don't know, 1 second. Okay, everybody, Tarot Card Puppy Banjo is in the house, is in the building. He's sitting on my bed right over there. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh, the Alamo, the new Alamo stuff that they're building, which I think is funded by the city of San Antonio. I'm not too sure. It might be the World Heritage Foundation funding it, but those might just be two separate projects for Ron Nirenberg. But anyway, they're building some sort of tourist stuff for the Alamo. Here's the Alamo, and then they're building a building in front of it, dedicated to the Alamo. It's been in construction for like almost over a year now. So, as a tourist, as somebody who doesn't live in San Antonio, Texas, because I can pretty much guess your thoughts if you do live in San Antonio, Texas, about those new endeavors. But seeing as San Antonio makes a lot of its money from tourism, I just wanted to open up a discussion maybe about what y'all think about building in front of the Alamo dedicated to the Alamo. Yeah, basically. Oh, and the building is kind of like if you, I forget which, I think maybe it was the Luxor in Las Vegas, at least when I went. I've been there one time. But they have these places where it was like for the Titanic, and then we saw the human bodies exhibit. So it would basically kind of be like that, except maybe I guess now I'm thinking about it a bit bigger because I've been walking downtown and I've seen that building, and it's like a really big building. So as a tourist, does that make you want to visit the city, to go visit the building in front of the Alamo that has information about the Alamo? So, anyway, I guess we can go ahead and get started. One second. And also just one more thing before we continue on to our tarot card reading. As far as taking over businesses, I think I read on Wikipedia that um, there would be an eminent domain type of situation if a business didn't want to sell, um, and they're in that area, but they've already done a lot of work. I think the eminent domain, I think the company would be like the Alamo Trust or something like that. I saw it on Wikipedia. I screenshotted it. Um, and I think it was in reference to that. There's this one bar. I think it's dedicated to somebody who fought against the people in the Alamo. I can't remember who it was. I mean, obviously you'd think Santa Anna, but maybe not. Obviously, if you don't know much Texas history, that's fine. But anyway, I do think there are businesses there that have to, I don't know, go through this eminent domain thing because they don't want to sell their business. And in addition to the building in front of the Alamo, they're also building on the sides of the Alamo too. So they're kind of like surrounding the Alamo. So anyway, does that seem like something that you say, hey, I want to go to San Antonio because it's such a chill city and visit the Riverwalk, unless of course you're Mark Cuban, and then say, hey, I really want to learn more about the Alamo by going to the building across from it. I think there might also be an education center there for kids on field trips, but I could be mistaken. Anyway, feel free to comment whether you're from San Antonio or not. Your thoughts about that. Because I think sometimes, especially with the bond programs here in San Antonio, they're like, oh, this was voter approved in this bond program when like 8% of the population voted. 8% of the entire population participated in the voting process, and then they say advertise all the construction going on as voter approved in the bond program. I said, I think I've talked about this before, but I think there needs to be at least a 15%, 25% participation required. And if you don't meet that minimum participation required, then you don't get it. I mean, this is absolutely ridiculous. They're trying to wear us down in any which way, and then they're just going to say, oh, this is a bond program worth millions and millions of dollars, and it was approved by 8% of the population. And they're just going to take it. So, Texas legislature. I think maybe you should think about enacting a law that says there needs to be like a minimum percentage requirement, population percentage requirement of eligible voters to pass laws, especially when it comes to bonds and stuff like that. So then you didn't earn the vote, right? You want to go around parading that you're a good politician when you got 8% of the people just to participate in the voting process. It's not very difficult to vote in San Antonio, Texas, and I think in Texas in general. There's a 2-week early voting, and you can vote anywhere. And then on voting day, you have your certain voting location. And all the times I've been voting, it's never been a problem. Especially when they put signs out there like that. I don't think I've ever seen a lot of yard signs for, I see a lot of yard signs for like commissioner or something like that, but I don't see a lot of yard signs for like a bond program or something like that. So that's why I think you're gonna do stuff like that, and, where it's the city's future, right? A bond program, to where you may not even be in office, and then the money's still getting spent, right? And very other important things too. There needs to be at least 25% of the people voting. I don't think that's a ridiculous idea. I think changing the whole landscape of a city because less than 10% of the population participated in that voting process, is ridiculous. Especially these days, right? I say that because here I am. But anyway, I spent 16 minutes on that. My apologies to all my tarot card listeners who are not so involved in politics. But with that being said, I also do like to judge people on what they say about me. I don't ever hear a lot about it, but obviously, if I ever do hear anything about it, I'm going to have a lot of judgments because a part of who I am, especially publicly, is political. You want to talk about me like I'm not political? I'm going to judge you on that. I think I'm going to know everything I need to know about you. But anyway, I guess we'll go ahead and get started. I've been doing Hunter card for Benji. Benji's sleeping over there in bed. Okay, so I'm gonna put 3 cards out here for past, present, and future. And I'm gonna go ahead and go with the Crow. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna do the Crow Tarot first, and then do the past, present, and future, and see how that goes. Okay, our heart energy for today is the Ace of Pentacles upright. This is a very great, very good. Ace of Pentacles is depicted in this image, this pentacle that the crow has right here. It was given from the heavens or the sky as a gift to this crow, of this well-deserving crow. So this is just great. Pentacles is the earth element, so and recently in my own personal tarot card readings, the aces have represented a deep understanding, a deep knowledge and wisdom of whatever suit it happens to be present, and that's through the purity, understanding that element. In this case is Pentacles, which is earth, which could be money, apprenticeship, luxury, career, stuff like that. So this is really good to have for the heart energy, and I guess to go on to build on top of the deep understanding and wisdom as far as the aces go. I think it's very interesting. I in my own personal readings, I've been comparing it to the king or queen of a suit, that kind of prestige. Is that the right word? that kind of prominence, something like that. Anyway, um, but here it's the A's. And so I think that's very interesting, especially considering there's a lot of, I guess, opulence that goes with the king or the queen in any suit, and maybe not so much so for the aces. Um, I guess what I'm saying is there's been I've been equivalence between the aces and the kings and queens of the suits. So this is just great. We have great heart energy for today. Our present is a platform for the future is, oh my gosh, the death card. And I would say fear not, especially right after this Ace of Pentacles here. Major Arcana deck card. Um, this death card is about transformation and progression on your journey or life path. If you don't learn your lessons, if you have the inability to understand concepts and learn the lessons that the universe has set forth for you, you're not going to make it past this card. This card would be an absolute red flag and warning for you. But seeing as it's after the Ace of Pentacles and everything I just said, this is probably a good luck card. And I think it's very interesting we get our good luck card in the form of the death card today. Death is something that happens to all of us. It's not a certain type of lifestyle or you know what I mean. It doesn't matter who you are, where you're from. This is universal, and I think especially in October. What are we in Scorpio season? Is it Scorpio Sagittarius? I'm sure Scorpios probably really like this card, especially the art. And so as far as there being the Ace of Pentacles here, I would say there's a lot of respect happening, which is great. And yeah, I'm going to check really quick the element for this death card. Is it 13? Water. Without fear of the unknown. So far so good. Let's see what our advice or maybe something holding us back. Okay, obviously advice. We have a very interesting and pleasant tarot card reading so far. For our advice, we have the Knight of Wands. Obviously, the Knights are fighters, and they're not fighters just for themselves, but the Knights are fighters for themselves and everybody else. I guess I should say the Knights are fighters for everybody else and themselves. So this is just great. And the Knight of Wands, very interesting. The fire. We got a lot of free spirit, a lot of kinetic energy going on. And don't worry, the upright Knight of Wands is, even though there's a lot of energy going on, this isn't, it's not a reckless energy. It's a very focused and a very, I want to say in tune, and I guess that's appropriate considering our spread today. Instinctual type of energy going on. If you've gone through certain experiences and you haven't learned your lessons from them, then my guess is you probably can't trust those instincts. But if you're somebody who's gone through experiences and you've learned lessons without taking any kind of shortcut, especially in hurting other people. um, you're going to have great instincts, and instincts you can trust, which I guess is maybe what the horse represents. So far so good. Let's see what our hopes and fears are today. Oh, the Hanged Man. We're getting really good cards today. Especially, is it Scorpio season? But anyway, if it is Scorpio season, I'm sure these are really great cards for y'all. So the Hanged Man here is, it's a bit different, just a different kind of shift from the Cat Tarot Hanged Man. This Hanged Man here, he's meditating. I think this is a water element. He's got cherry blossoms and poppies here. He's also a very respected crow. And he is right before death, so that's interesting. The Hanged Man is 12 and death is 13. Also a water element. He's away from the noises of the roost, that he has let go and is at peace. Renewed vitality when approaching an issue. It also suggests maybe removing yourself from a situation. As far as physically, you know, you can take that for what you will. Removing yourself from a situation can be something as simple as getting an outside person's perspective on maybe an issue that may be present right now. Or it could be like physically, like just being like, I need to go out into the park, you know, walk around in the park or something like that. So there's also that suggestion for the Hanged Man, which is in our hopes and fears today. So that's really great. I say really great because it's near the head of the crow there. And also, so as far as placement, things are probably going to feel, there's probably going to be a certain comfort level. And as far as the situation, I think there's probably a lot of avenues for this this Hanged Man, and I think it's interesting that it's in our hopes and fears today in this spread that we have. It might be something that we wish for something else. It might be something that we hope for somebody else, and maybe not necessarily ourselves. So that's interesting. What's rooting us today is the Star reversed. I keep getting this card reversed. Let's see. So we have a lot of major arcana deck cards today, which is interesting. The Star is an air element. So we may be feeling maybe not so rooted, which is interesting. I think that it's a very interesting spread here. Um, there's a lot of quietness, I guess, in this deck or in this reading right now. Um, it says that the reverse star is feelings of lack and despair, which I think is very concerning, especially considering the placement of the cards. We got the Ace of Pentacles right here, and then we have the reverse star. So this is very interesting, and especially as far as our grounding energy. I think this may be the first time I've done this Crow Tarot spread where our grounding energy is a bit not so grounding as far as first appearances go. But I think this is very interesting. We might have a task in front of us that requires us to take on others' emotions, challenges, problems, and experiences. Um, so I would say this tarot card reading is saying if you're feeling a little ungrounded or not as rooted uh, as far as foundation and fundamentals go, I would give the advice to maybe examine that, like the Knight of Wands, at a macro scale and micro scale. And it's probably for the benefit of a lot of people. So if you're feeling a certain way, my guess is that other people won't be too far off from feeling a certain way for a certain reason or whatever. So let's look at our past. Oh no. We've got the reverse Page of Pentacles for our past today. So it looks like here that we may be getting to the problem. We've had such a great tarot card spread so far, and so now it looks like we're addressing maybe obstacles and issues that we have in today's tarot card reading. If you know my tarot card readings, you know that I don't like the Page of Pentacles. I see this Page of Pentacles as somebody who's selfish, pretentious, and knowing that they're not going to face any of the standard responsibilities and consequences to their actions. And you see this crow. There's a little songbird here. I don't know how well y'all can see that, the little songbird. I feel sorry for this little songbird there. I like the page of this crow has somehow gotten a hold of this meditative kind of environment. That's what it says in the description. And the description also doesn't necessarily look at this page of crows upright as a negative and warning and red flag as I do, but this Page of Pentacles is somebody who hasn't earned anything. They haven't, and they've taken a lot. Yeah, this poor little songbird is there stuck, unfortunately, in this false meditative garden. with this crow here, whose job is to examine this pentacle and envision something. So this is our problem here, and today in this tarot card reading, it's in our past. One second. Sorry, I had to clear my throat real quick. um, so yeah, it looks like we have our problems in the past, and I think this is also something that I like about the crow spread too. Is as far as like revealing the cards like that is a little bit different because we got card 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the past card is card 6. Um, so I think that's something that's a little bit different than a lot of the other tarot card spreads, especially ones that I do with y'all. Um, we usually get the past first and then the present and then the future. So I think it's one thing I do like about this spread, and I think is also very interesting considering our cards today, is that we see the past card as our 6th card and not one of our first cards. So I think that's interesting. And maybe as far as the star card reversed, maybe if you absolutely don't like your past, maybe if there are things you just you say, why does this have to happen to me? Why is there this evil in the world? Maybe you don't say that now, but maybe at some point in time in your past, maybe that's what this reverse star card can represent here in our rooted and grounding energy. Is a recognition of maybe something that's happened in the past that was extremely unfair, is recognized in a major way. And the star card is a bit like, I guess, there's a lot of protective energy, right? The way humans have looked at stars have always been, for the most part, right, very positive. People look up into the night sky, and usually there's this positive feel that makes you feel better. um, so maybe this reverse star as our grounding energy can just be a recognition of the unfairness that's happened in the past. Um, and I think the important thing here is to really recognize where we are now, um, as far as wisdom and knowledge. Um, and yeah, all right. Let's see our external openings or uninvited energy. Is the 5 of Pentacles. Well, this is just great. Um, my next video is gonna start. I think might as well grab a sip of coffee. I like my mug.